when we are talking about all of these events that keep happening, like asset prices going to the moon and commodity prices at all-time highs and people selling houses at all-time highs and bidding over asking and all, people are more preoccupied with high prices and high valuations, and they're not taking a step back and realizing what that really means. Our currency is losing value precipitously. Moving down here to Florida, still kind of living out of boxes. We've gone out to dinner a few times, and you can't get out for under $150 for 2 or 3 people anywhere. Inflation is here, and it's starting to show itself, and people haven't realized that yet. I like to use the analogy of a gold coin sitting on the ledge of a bathtub, and the water underneath it is the value of the currency. The gold coin doesn't move. It sits on the ledge. It's what happens to the water underneath it. And you pull the plug on the bathtub and the water starts to drain. Gold isn't getting more expensive. It's the currency underneath it that is losing value. And that's really where we're at right now, where gold is the barometer, the measurement, the measuring stick of the health of the currency. And when you see the amount of money that is being created right now, and the effects that it's having by pushing interest rates low, stabilizing the bond market for as long as they can. I mean, to push the short end right now on the treasuries are on the 2-year treasury are like, 15 or 20 basis points. Who in their right mind would be buying these things with inflation running many times that? So we're getting to that moment. We're about ready to cross that Rubicon where the Fed has no choice but to continue to monetize and buy the back end of the bond and to keep things calm until they no longer are calm. So we can talk about Basel III, and we can talk about big banks buying gold, and we can talk about all of these reasons. But look, the bottom line to me is that the dollar ultimately is in big trouble. And if you look at what's going on right now, Dunnigan, in Asia and China, you're seeing massive amounts of gold being delivered. In the Chinese market, 40.2 tons were delivered to China and another 10 tons to Hong Kong. And now the Russian National Wealth Fund has just been given the go-ahead to buy gold. So you have China and Russia going at it again, accumulating copious amounts of gold. The big money is using this environment to continue to de-dollarize and continue to buy gold and silver. I think you have to take a step back and realize it. And also realize one thing, as we talked about these asset prices going to the moon, people are, for whatever reason, now think because of cryptocurrencies and also irrational equity markets, that markets are supposed to go just like that, but it doesn't work that way. It was very easy to notice that gold had got smacked and had fallen by a couple $100 after the new year. But here we are, the tortoise slid by everyone, and it's already up in positive territory again. Slow, steady accumulation by the big money is slowly starting to push the price up, but they don't want it to gain too much attention. It's the old story of the frog being thrown into a pot of boiling water. If that happens, it jumps out. But if you put it in and slowly turn up the heat, the frog falls asleep and dies. And I think that's what's happening here. People are being blinded, misdirected again by high valuations in their assets, in their home. And they're okay with that right now, not realizing what that really means, that we're seeing inflation and a debasement of the currency. And gold is slowly starting to show us that, and silver, as it emerges from its 15-point drop at the beginning of the year. And here we are up again in positive territory. So remember, it's slow and steady. And you wake up one day, it's like, whoa, how did the Dow Jones, how did the price of gold outperform the S&P over the last 20 years? Slow and steady, not catch everyone's attention. And I think that's what we'll continue to see until it reaches that point where it slingshots. But anyways, I think when you see the biggest money in the world doing this, and especially Asia and Russia, I think it portrays for much higher prices moving forward, and not real good. Not real good, I think, in terms of an omen for the future value of the dollar. Yeah, well, the U.S. Mint said that the demand for silver remains greater than the supply, and that they are going to stop the pre-ordering of their new Morgan silver dollars, and that they used it really as a justification, I guess, as to why they're not able to deliver the way that they're supposed to. And as we had talked about, the U.S. Mint started allocating or rationing gold buffaloes and gold eagles the second week in January. 2021 has been a tough year for the U.S. Mint to keep up with demand. Whether there's something hidden underneath all of this or not, I'll leave that up to people's own speculation. But all I can tell you is that getting product out of the U.S. Mint of all the 6 major mints maybe has been the most challenging, which is unusual. Almost as unusual as to see them come out and acknowledge a global silver shortage, which is something that I would certainly not expect to see coming out of the U.S. Mint. And it follows part and parcel with everything we've talked about for a long time, that the demand is increasing, the supply is not. And I think that this will be a central theme as we move forward, as more and more people wake up to alternatives to traditional investing, as alternatives to a dollar, which is certainly, it's about this close from hitting support, and I think it's about 0.25% off from its support and key support level, where it had bounced 2 previous occasions. One was in early 2018, I think, and the other one was early this year in January, where it touches that support level and bounces back. If we can break through that, then the dollar has a lot of room to fall. So I guess when you talk about lately about the interest rates falling back a little bit after surging, when you talk about inflation fears, there are reasons to be looking to precious metals that people are starting to become aware of, and that's when we start to see more and more problems with supply, especially the U.S. Mint, because most people in this country immediately are going to go to U.S. Mint products. With the only caveat to that is that the premiums are so high that I think people are a little bit concerned about buying items that are trading at such a strong premium above the price of gold and silver. The question is it fair value? Is it a good price to pay in an environment where finding price discovery has been so challenging? Not sure how to answer that. And again, because there are other items from different mints trading at better prices. But there are a lot of people who believe that if the U.S. government were ever to confiscate gold again and silver, and some people do believe that,